So good afternoon to all. So in this video, I'm going to have my reflection or my understanding on our topic, this semifinals, about the types of clouds, the precipitation, structure of depressions, as well as the anticyclones and other pressure systems. So first is the types of clouds and precipitation. So the clouds are classified as to high altitude, mid altitude, and low altitude. So I'm going to name the type of clouds or the clouds that are present in each and every classification. So in high altitude, the clouds that are present or formed in this classification is the cirrus, the cirrocumulus, cirrostratus, and cumulonimbus. And in mid altitude, the clouds that are formed are nimbostratus, altocumulus, altostratus, as well as the cumulonimbus. And lastly, in the low altitude, the clouds that are formed or present are cumulus, stratocumulus, stratus, and again, the cumulonimbus. So among the said clouds, there are four main types of clouds, which are cumulus, cirrus, nimbostratus, and stratus. So first is the cumulus. Cumulus form when air cools to the dew point, the temperature at which the air can no longer hold all its water vapor. This is a fluffy cloud with clearly defined edges. Next is cirrus. Cirrus is a high atmospheric detached cloud characterized by thin hair-like strands. So it is formed from the ascent of dry air, making a small quantity of water vapor in the air undergo deposition into ice. And next is the nimbostratus. It is a thick uniform gray layer at low altitude. So often dark, amorphous, that usually produce continuous rain, snow, or sleet, but no lightning or thunder. It is formed most commonly in the middle level of the troposphere and then spreads vertically into the low and high levels. Lastly is the stratus. Stratus is a low continuous cloud sheet covering the sky. It is formed by gently rising air or by a mild wind bringing moist air over a cold land or a sea surface. This cloud often block the sun. And now, I'm going to define the precipitation. Precipitation is defined as any liquid or frozen water that forms in the atmosphere and falls back to the earth. It comes in many forms like rain, snow, sleet, etc. So here are some samples of precipitation, or what we call types of precipitation. Firstly is rain. Rain is most commonly observed. Drops larger than drizzles are considered rain. However, smaller drops are also considered raindrops. If in contrast to drizzle, they are widely spread. On the other hand, drizzle. Drizzle appears to float while following air currents, but unlike fog droplets, it falls to the ground. Next is ice pellets or sleet. Precipitation of transparent or translucent pellet or of ice, which are round or irregular hard grains of ice consisting of frozen raindrops or largely melted then refrozen snowflakes. Next is hail. Hail is a precipitation in the form of small balls or other pieces of ice falling separately or frozen together in irregular lumps. And also hail is associated with thunderstorms. Lastly is snow. Snow is a precipitation of snow crystals that are mostly branched and in the form of six-pointed stars. Next is the structure of depression. So depression is a region of low atmospheric pressure with the lowest pressure at the center. It usually brings unsettled or stormy weather. So in the northern hemisphere, wind circulates anti-clockwise, and on the other hand, it circulates clockwise in the southern hemisphere. Depression develops when warm air from the subtropics meets the cold air from the polar regions. Furthermore, a depression appears on a synoptic weather chart. So what is a synoptic weather chart? The word synoptic simply means summary of the current situation. In weather terms, this means that pressure pattern, fronts, wind, direction, and speed, and how they will change and evolve over the coming few days. So next is the anticyclones and the other pressure systems. So first is anticyclones. So also anticyclones, also known as a high pressure area, a weather system with high atmospheric pressure at its center, around which air slowly circulates in a clockwise in the northern hemisphere or counterclockwise in the southern hemisphere direction. In addition, anticyclones are associated with calm and fine weather. In the subtopics, anticyclones persist for long periods and are termed permanent. On the other hand, the term semi-permanent is applied to the anticyclonic condition which develops seasonally in temperate and polar zones. Furthermore, anticyclones may be either warm or cold. Warm anticyclones are typified by a mainly warm troposphere, while a cold anticyclone is one in which the lower troposphere is occupied by cold air, thus it has a relatively shallow circulation. So that's all in this video. Thank you for watching and hope you understand. Thank you.